Hi, everybody. It's Mark Rushton of markrushton.com. It is Sunday, February 28th, 2021. And I'm going to talk a little bit about Creative Commons and public domain images and why you need to be careful with using them. I kind of learned the hard way recently. I was using some Creative Commons CC0 and public domain an image, not images, just one particular image. And it turned out it was a photograph of something that was maybe not in the public domain. It was a work of art, and it was by a rather famous artist. And so the image was indicated here as CC0, marked in the public domain, and also this PDM here. The work is marked in the public domain. And of course, you can see here in my search results just for space here, CC0, public domain mark, modify or adapt. That's what I'm looking for. I just want to take something and kind of maybe modify, adapt it a little bit, throw some text on it, and use that as a graphical image. So again, what I did earlier was I had used somebody's photograph of a work of art, and all I did was crop it, add some text, and I got flagged by the distributor. And whenever they flag you, they always it's automated and everything, and they don't you, how dare you. It's just so you have to be really careful with those things. They have such a volume going through, and the only way that they have to verify that stuff is run it through something like TinEye. And it's just like with the content ID. That's why you don't use samples. That's the way you or if you get samples, you clear them and you do it properly and everything like that. But the only thing I ever do, I use my own stuff, my own sounds, and then if I'm using royalty-free loops, I always try to stack them and alter them some particular way. I don't want to just use straight out of the box royalty-free loops, presets, and things like that. You never know. You never know what somebody's going to come along there and get something into the system, and the system will think that it's not royalty-free, public domain. However you do that. A good example of that would be if you go out to Google Images and you look up old photographs that are clearly in the public domain, and they have the little Getty images down there. And you kind of wonder, what are they doing? Are they trying to make money off of public domain stuff? Yeah, probably. Yeah, there's been a lot of articles written about that sort of stuff. But what happens if that goes a step further and the algorithms and the sniffers and all that sort of stuff start to think that Getty Images owns this 150-year-old photograph that is clearly in the public domain, right? How do we get beyond that, right? It's a mess. It's a weird sort of bizarre corporatism of things that are in the public domain. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful. And let me show you some examples here. I'm not going to show you the example that I got flagged on. Maybe I should have known a little bit. Maybe I should have altered it a bit. And I'll talk about that here in a second here. But here's a good example. I'm out on the Creative Commons search site, and I'm just looking for CC0 in public domain, modify and adapt. And we're going to use the word space here. Now, so what if I went and I've got this image here. These are obviously commercial toys. And somebody took a photo of them, and see the photo is in the public, is marked here as the public domain, CC 1.0, right? Would I use this for like an album cover or no? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You put a little text up there. There'll be something in there that will be looking for this or that or whatever. And they'll say, that's a commercial product. That's somebody else's image. And you're trying to, capitalize on that in some way, or you're presenting your work with this additional stuff. And so I wouldn't even go that route here. I wouldn't even go as far as altering colors or adding effects or anything. I just don't even go there. If it's a commercial product, or it's it like like a piece of artwork or something else that somebody has produced in the time, and you don't know whether that is still it's not in the public domain. Is it still being licensed? All that sort of stuff. Just skip it, right? And I'll show you another example here of something that I would be careful of. And it's things like this, the NASA, things like the space station, things like images that come from the Hubble telescope, which you get some really beautiful things out there. But again, here, these say released to the public, CCPDM 1.0 over here. See that there? And so I would use this. I would use this sort of image because NASA stuff is supposed to be in the public domain, but I would heavily alter it. I would go and crop it, and I would maybe change some colors, maybe flip it horizontally, maybe apply some effects, like an oil paint type of effect, or some pixelize it just a little bit, just to kind of change it a little. Because again, like I said, you never know when there's some sneaky corporation out there going and taking these public domain images and trying to pass them off as their own, and you get caught in the wake of that. You got to be really careful, because these, all these companies out here, all this, particularly the music distributors, they're all automated, and pleading your case, they've got such a volume of stuff coming in on a daily basis. Just be careful. Just be careful. So that's my advice for today. Just be careful with those Creative Commons images. Try to rely on your own photography. That's why I try to take a lot of photos with either my camera or mostly my my smartphone. Whenever there's something that I could use in the future, I take a picture of it. I save it off. I throw it in. I've got lots of different subject matters I can throw into and go and use. That's why I used the scans of my paintings for such a long time, and I may do that again in the future. But because I made that painting, I took the photograph. I know it's mine. There's not going to be an issue with copyright or anything like that, as opposed to using toys or, again, commercial products of any kind, or something that might have been made by an artist in the past. You just can't rely on that. All right, that's it for today. Might do a Realtor Recon later. We'll see. It is Sunday, February 28th, 2021. I'm Mark Rushton of markrushton.com. We'll talk to you later.